Hi, this is Adrian from MBX. We thought we'd do a video on how to pin the MPX compound. We have some of our barrels here. But basically the video is just going to show you how to do it without the fixture tools. You can just basically make a very simple fixture. We actually have a fixture for doing them, but this works fine for just a one-off, and if you're kind of careful you set it up. So basically you take the shield off. This isn't an MPX, but it's the same thing. You can go along with the whole theory here. So basically you can take the handguard off, and then you're going to use the flat surface here, and we have a piece of 1/4 inch steel. So you're going to put it down, and then with the compensator, we recommend that you use some blue Loctite. So basically you want to make sure the compensator fits. If you want to do the machinist part and you want to cut off the back of the comp here and align it against the shoulder, you can do that to clock it. You have to put in a lathe or a mill and then machine it to make it so it's a perfect alignment. Or you can use the Loctite and you can basically clock it to where you want it, to where it's almost all the way, and then just do the alignment and then pin and weld it. So anyway, so here's how you can do it. So basically you're going to put some a thread lock on. You're going to thread on the comp, and you're going to clock it to it's at about the 12 o'clock position. You can turn this over and then use this square part here to hold everything in alignment, and then a square or something square, either a parallel or a square, and the side of our comps is at 90 degrees to the port. So you put it on here and you turn the comp and you align it. You can see right there you have perfect alignment. So the comp's going to be at 12 o'clock exactly. So you line it like that, let it sit, be careful not to move it, and let it set up for at least 8 hours. And then the next day you can come back and you can continue to drill the pinning hole into the shoulder. Make sure with the MPX that you take off that nitrate on that shoulder. If not, you're going to have a real tough job to drill through that. So basically hit it with a little bit of paper or a little grinder, just to grind through the surface of the nitrate. And then you're going to get a pin with your kit. It's going to be an oversized pin. You want to drill about 100 thousandths deep, thereabout. Be careful not to go through into the barrel. You can go, just don't go crazy going through, but you need obviously enough to have the pin a good engagement within the collar of the barrel. So basically we supply with that pin. Dave's already ground one down here, and the pin fits in there. You can see the pin fits a little bit below the surface, and the reason for that is to pin a weld, to be ATF legal, you need to weld over the top of the pin. So actually grind it just a little bit below, and then you should be good. And then once this Loctite is set up, you got your pin ground, everything else is ready. You're then ready for your next stage, which is to do the welding. So Dave's going to take over and show you a little bit about how to TIG it, and we'll go from there. Okay. All right. Dave's going to take it away there. So we have one set up in the vise right here, and you can see right there, pin's already in it, just a little bit below the surface, flashed a little bit below, and then he's gonna wash that down, add some filler rod, and go from there. So Dave's the welder, so he'll tell you what's going on here.
We prefer to use the TIG welding process. It gives us a nice clean finish weld, a little bit more precision. Obviously you can do it with the MIG or wire feed if you prefer, whatever you have available. Obviously if you're not comfortable with this at all, take it to a qualified gunsmith. But I have the filler metal here. I'll heat up the pin, make sure I get a good fusion weld between the pin and the comp, and add wire here as necessary to give me a nice finish weld. So I'm going to go ahead and purge my line just a little bit, and we're going to light off. Okay. So I've got a really nice good fusion weld between the pin and the comp. If it's a little bit below flush, that's fine. You can add a little wire if you need to whatever you prefer to make it look nice, but as long as you have a good precision or good fusion between the pin and the comp, you should be pretty good right there. Go back, we can clean it up and do whatever you like.
Yeah, and I just want to add, you notice that they didn't add a whole bunch of heat because obviously you don't want to add a whole bunch of heat to it. So you get everything set, and then maybe you want to just give them a few tips on what kind of setting you're using for that that, Dave, how many amps you're running through it and that. So
I've got our welder set at about 120 amps. I am using a foot pedal, and when I light off, I kind of come into a little hot to get that pin nice and warm, and then start washing around, back off the heat just a little bit. You know, if you're familiar with the welding process, you'll know more about it. Pretty much, I like a post flow on my gas as well with the TIG welding. It gives me a nice clean finish here. Otherwise, you can end up with porosity, and you know, the whole idea is to try to make a nice finished product.
Okay, so a few tips there, and so that should help you guys out with the MPX comp, and we'll say goodbye for now. Thanks.